lapel on his duster. He chuckled behind his long cigar. "Why have you been dogging our trail so fiercely, Ranger?" he asked. "Don't you have plenty of other innocent citizens to harass and aggravate?" "You and your pals robbed the bank in Guidall day before yesterday," said the Ranger. "That's why I'm dogging you." Hornady's right hand appeared ready to grab for his holstered revolver. But Sam had already seen enough to know the move wasn't coming from the right hand. Lightning Hornady was only drawing his attention to the custom revolver. "Watch for the left," Sam cautioned himself. Hornady shrugged, gave his confident grin. "It was only a small piss-hand of a bank, nothing worth getting excited over. Certainly not worth getting yourself killed over, is it?" This journeyman gunman played his part well, Sam noted. So well that the Ranger decided if he waited long enough and gave this gunman enough room, the odds were good that Lightning Hornady might get an edge and kill him right here where he stood. Sam continued to stare at him, revealing nothing. "Well, is it?" Hornady asked again. Without reply, without warning, the Ranger cocked the big Colt on the upswing just as he'd planned to all along, and put a bullet through the unprepared gunman's chest. The Colt bucked in the Ranger's hand. The single explosion resounded along the street and out across the hill line. Wade Hornady flew backward, his cigar abandoned in mid-air, appearing suspended there for a moment as he slid on the rough dirt street behind a settling mist of blood. As the cigar fell to the ground and the downed gunslinger came to a halt, Sam turned from side to side, crouched, fanning the smoking Colt toward any window or darkened doorway that could offer cover for any of Hornady's cohorts. Once satisfied that Hornady had truly been left alone to kill him, Sam lowered the big Colt an inch and walked forward toward the prone gunman. Hornady struggled for the belly gun inside his duster as his boot heels scooted him backward in the blood-splattered dirt. He stopped and stared up as Sam loomed over him. Sam reached down, brushed Hornady's bloody hand aside, and jerked a smaller custom Simpson bar revolver from a belly rig. He looked it over, admiring the ornate engraving covering its entire barrel and frame. Evening sunlight glinted soft on the gun's ivory grips. "Some gun," Sam said quietly. He shoved the adorned revolver into his gun belt, then drew his long-barreled revolver from its holster and let it hang from his left hand. He stared down at the bleeding gunman as townsfolk began easing back into sight and gathering a few safe yards away. We were still talking," Hornady said in a strained voice. He stared up at Sam in disbelief. "You were," Sam said quietly. "I was all through." Hornady looked at the gaping hole in his chest. Blood surged. "You shoot a man down, just like that?" Hornady rasped in an air of moral outrage, a stunned expression on his pale, tortured face. "Yep, just like that," Sam said, matter-of-factly. He stooped beside the bleeding gunman and studied the wound closely. "Dad Orwick must think highly of you, leaving you all by yourself here." "I always work better alone," the outlaw said, gasping for breath. "Until now, that is," he added, looking down at his bloody wound. "Looks like you've done me in." "My bullet missed your heart, Lightning," Sam said. "You've got a good chance of living through this." Hornady looked surprised at hearing the Ranger call him by his trail name. You know who I am?" he said. "Yep. Everybody's heard of Lightning Wade Hornady," Sam replied. "Let me get this straight," Hornady rasped and coughed, raising a bloody finger. "You know who I am, and still you just walk up and shoot me?" He appeared to have a hard time making sense of it. "You want a doctor?" Sam asked without replying. "There's a good one here, if we can catch him sober this hour of the day." He untied a bandana from around Hornady's neck, wadded it, laid it on his bloody chest, and placed the gunman's hand on it. "Catch him sober?" Hornady coughed and shook his head. "No thanks. If the drunken son of a bitch don't kill me, I'll go off to rot in Yuma prison. Not for me." "Suit yourself," said the Ranger. "Thought I'd ask." He reached into Hornady's boot well and pulled out a large knife in a rawhide sheath, with knuckle dusters shielding its handle. He looked the knife over, shook his head, and shoved